Winston Churchill, former Prime Minister of Britain, once said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." Recently, Donald Trump, President of the United States, made statements that have thrown the entire world into a tailspin. We want to interrogate this crisis and see what we can draw from it as Kenya. I'll do this as usual in 5 points. Point number 1, know the crisis. Which is this crisis? This crisis is reciprocal tariffs by Donald Trump. Donald Trump now wants every country that trades with America to have a levy of 10%, a charge of 10%, beg your pardon, on all its goods imported into the US. That's the baseline, but it increases and it differs from country to country. Some countries, a baseline of 10%, other countries, more than 100% tariffs charged on goods imported into the US. Point number 2, in a crisis, take stock of where you are. Kenya has been exporting to the US under AGOA, that is African Growth Opportunities Act. Under this AGOA initiative, Kenya exports to the US tariff-free. AGOA comes to an end in September. However, AGOA is superseded by Donald Trump's recent tariffs. Kenya is at the baseline of 10%. That is where we are. It means when we export goods to the US, we are charged 10% in terms of import duties. When US exports goods to us, we charge them 10% as well. Point number 3. Point number 3 deals with gauging the possibilities of increasing our quantities of exports to the US. This is one way we can enhance trade with the US, and that can then make whatever tariff that they levy on us be of no consequence. At the moment, the reciprocal trade between Kenya and the US stands at about $1.5 billion US. And this is shared equally between US and Kenya. Kenya can enhance the quality or the quantity of its exports to the US, and it can do that in significant quantities because the opportunity now presents itself. Point number 4, Kenya can diversify its exports to the US. It can go beyond the usual textiles and leather. It can do as South Africa does, get raw materials for the assembly of motor vehicle parts and components for re-export to the US. It can also look for other opportunities for goods that are currently being manufactured, say, by China, have them set up plants here for re-export to the US. Point number 5, Kenya needs to look for opportunities within the continent. That is what other countries in other jurisdictions are doing. Asians, for example, are trading within themselves. The European Union is basically Europe trading within itself. Even America can be insular and survive. Africa needs to trade within itself, and Kenya should lead the initiative. We have the Africa Free Continental Trade Area. That is an initiative that intends to collapse borders within African countries. Kenya should push for these borders to be collapsed so that in the event that trade with the US or other parts of the world are not possible, Africa can still trade within itself and Kenya can still be ahead of the pack in that kind of trading. My name is Leonard Kafafa. I'm a public policy analyst. See you next time for another 5 points to consider.